This is WVUE, the station that's making good things happen.
With the Weekend Edition, it's the award-winning news team of Arthel Neville, George Ryan, Lionel Bienvenu with sports, and Ken Oakland with weather. Live from WVUE, this is News 8.
Good evening, I'm George Ryan.
And I'm Arthel Neville. The deadline has passed, and now the world waits to see when the ground war will start.
Troops in the field are waiting for what may come next, the ground attack against Iraq. As Pat Dawson reports from the region, today has been an emotional day of give-and-take warfare.
As if to accent Iraq's defiance of the coalition deadline, Allied aircraft renewed an intense bombardment of Baghdad as darkness fell. Despite continued diplomatic efforts, U.S. forces were said to have been given the green light to begin a massive offensive thrust against Iraqi forces. Only scattered skirmishes were reported along the border, but inside Kuwait, U.S. military officials said an organized campaign of terror had begun in the last 48 hours.
There seems to be a systematic campaign of execution, particularly people that they may have tortured previously, that they're sort of destroying the evidence, I guess, for lack of a better term. And then there's a systematic campaign of grabbing Kuwaitis along the streets and byways of Kuwait City and executing them.
Along the northern Saudi border, elements of the Army's 7th Corps moved into position to punch through Iraqi defenses. Privately, U.S. commanders suggested the ground war would be as quick and decisive as the air campaign, which they revealed had now destroyed between 40 and 50% of Iraqi tanks and artillery. And as the first uneasy night after the deadline passed, troops all across the Kuwaiti theater showed a clear interest in ending the long stalemate.
If it can work, but let's not give him nothing.
We've been training and training. It's like we've been beating the A-team. Now we want to go in there and actually see what we can actually do.
I think Saddam Hussein needs to be overthrown, however, by his people or by us.
Which may also be the sentiment of senior U.S. officials. Military commanders here strongly suggested today that Saddam Hussein was directly responsible for ordering the executions in Kuwait, a war crimes charge only likely to make the Iraqi leader less willing to withdraw voluntarily. In eastern Saudi Arabia, Pat Dawson reporting.
Saddam Hussein launched another Scud attack towards Israel tonight. The latest attack came 2 hours after the deadline expired in the Gulf. Now, witnesses say the missile was not carrying chemical weapons and did little damage when it landed. The Iraqi government says it has scored a destructive strike against Tel Aviv. The Pentagon says a turning point has been reached and the troops in the Gulf are ready for the ground war. Spokesman Pete Wilson says he can't confirm reports that President Bush has already given Desert Storm commanders the go-ahead to launch the ground campaign. All military officials would say is that the troops are prepared and will attack when they're ordered to do so.
Iraqi forces, as has been mentioned, are now rounding up and systematically killing Kuwaiti citizens. That word from Marine General Richard Neal, who believes the Iraqis are killing people they tortured to destroy the evidence.
Up to 40,000 Kuwaitis are being rounded up for possible execution. This report by Amnesty International details Iraqi torture tactics, beatings with steel cables, drilling holes in legs, extinguishing cigarettes on eyeballs.
We testified last June in Congress, and the State Department really did not agree with us, and they said we were basically wrong, and they protected Saddam Hussein. They were making billions of dollars of agricultural credits to him and building his economy. And so in a certain sense, Saddam Hussein is really the Noriega of the Middle East. And the U.S. has a role in building him up. And now, once the war is over, that will have to be reviewed.
The Bush administration used the document to build support for military intervention.
Thousands and thousands of people were being executed by the Iranian government.
Behruz Gamari spent more than 3 years in an Iranian death camp where torture was a way of life and, more often, a way of death.
The State Department closed their eyes and explained away all these atrocities, and even more than that, they sent secretly arms to Khomeini's government.
Gamari claims the same human rights abuses he endured are now going on not only in Iran, Iraq, and Kuwait, but in Syria and Saudi Arabia and in Egypt, 3 coalition partners.
Now, by some estimates, Iraqi soldiers have already killed more than 1,000 Kuwaiti citizens.
With the deadline now behind us, families with loved ones serving in the Middle East are preparing for an all-out ground war as well.
It's been on the minds of troops and their family members for months. And now News 8's Robbie Chavez has been keeping close ties with a number of those families, and he joins us with what they might be thinking tonight.
Well, Arthel and George, you know, they're pretty worried at this point, and they're still concerned as well, but they're hanging strong. But more than anything else, they would like for all of this to be over with at this point. They don't believe it will come, however, an end anyway, until a ground war is upon us. For the Brandt family, who we have introduced you to before, they have accepted the fact that that could mean that some lives will be lost. Their son, Thad, has also made sure he has said goodbye to his family. That came in a cassette only this week.
I haven't written because we've been really busy.
It may be the last words Beryl Brandt hears from her son Thad in a long time. A cassette that came in the mail lets her know how serious this all has become.
People are starting to just sit there and not talk to anybody, not listen to the radio or anything, just smoke a cigarette and stare off into the desert.
Thad is now 6 miles from the Kuwaiti border. The 82nd Airborne troops are among the first soldiers on the front line. His mom says her 21-year-old son has become a man.
It's gonna be hell. I'm hoping I'll come back. I'm not sure if I will, but I hope so. I'll do my job to my best of my ability. If anything happens, I want y'all to know I love y'all.
The boy that I sent is this man that I haven't met yet. I mean, really.
It's gonna be hell.
I haven't met this person yet, and I hope I get that
I'm not sure if I will.
But she knows she may not. A ground war could be only hours away. Reluctantly but boldly, she says, even that is not soon enough. She wants it now.
If it comes, I won't be shocked because I want it to come. I want to get it over with. This is 7 months, Robbie. 7 long months.
Not listen to the radio or anything.
And to hear him talk about dying is difficult.
This is my job. You know, it's what I joined the Army for. You know, I never quit before. I'm not planning on quitting now.
It has been a very long time for all of the families. As for passing of the time during the day, they try to catch the news only once or twice a day. For them, the ups and downs of the war, George and Arthel, is just too much to watch all during the day. They try to catch it at one point. They know what's going on. They try to sleep throughout the night and wake up in the morning and hopefully
I don't blame them. I think that's a sensible approach because, boy, you can really get burned out on the emotional ups and downs.
A lot of psychologists aren't suggesting that we shouldn't inundate ourselves with the news of the war all the time.
Okay, Robbie. Okay. Elsewhere in the news, with the war on virtually everyone's mind, many people came out to hear what Congressman Bob Livingston had to say about today's deadline. In a regular town meeting, Livingston told the crowd he stands behind Bush's decision to allow Saddam Hussein no wiggle room.
At present, I would have to say the only way we're going to get him out of the Middle East and keep him from being a threat to his neighbors and to our troops and otherwise is to eliminate his army.
The congressman recently returned from a tour of the Gulf. Well, still ahead, people here at home keep their minds on the troops overseas, and they take to the streets to show that they are behind the troops in the Gulf.
And fire hits near a Bourbon Street bar.
Enjoy the sun while it lasts. Another cold front is coming.
LSU basketball, LSU baseball, and a check-in on the coin toss. Those stories coming up in sports.
These stories and much more as News 8 at 5 continues.
You know, a lot of men want to know more about Rogaine with minoxidil. If you're one of them, I have good news for you. Now there's a video prepared especially for men who want answers to their questions about Rogaine. Simply call 1-800-284-4093, and Upjohn will be glad to send it to you, absolutely free. Now, once you've looked at it, you'll probably want to schedule an appointment with a doctor. After all, only your doctor can prescribe Rogaine. And if you call right now, Upjohn will also send you the names of doctors in your area who can help you decide if Rogaine is right for you. You'll also receive a $10 certificate as an incentive to see your doctor. For your free videotape that gives you the complete story on Rogaine with minoxidil and your $10 certificate, call toll-free 1-800-284-4093. So what are you waiting for? Make the call today.
When the person who doctors the family gets a cough and cold, everyone suffers.
Mom, someone took my sleeve.
I earned it myself. Time to doctor that cough with Robitussin, because more doctors and pharmacists recommend Robitussin than any other cough medicine.
Look, Mom's feeling better. Uh-oh.
Robitussin, recommended by Dr. Mom. Which Robitussin is right for you? Ask your doctor or pharmacist. And for your littlest patients, there's new Robitussin Pediatric Cough Suppressant.
I called because I was sick of dating jerks.
A troop rally in Marrero this afternoon brought residents of a local subdivision together.
Detroit down to Houston and New York to
The Woodmere Civic Association sponsored today's show of support in which local community leaders participated. One of the speakers was a sergeant major in the United States Army who oversees the 3673rd Maintenance Battalion, which is now serving in the Gulf. He talked about the importance of having support here at home.
They want to come home, they're homesick, they're lonesome, but they're proud to be there, and seeing the people back here makes it a heck of a lot easier.
Over 200 people attended today's rally, and Woodmere Civic leaders say they hope to have more in the future.
Well, George, it looked like all of St. Bernard Parish turned out today for a parade and rally in Chalmette. The folks who marched in the parade carried American flags of all sizes to show support for the troops in Saudi Arabia. After they walked down West Judge Perez Drive, the supporters gathered at the St. Bernard Civic Center for a rally. The St. Bernard Police Jury unveiled a 16-foot resolution showing their unanimous support for Operation Desert Storm.
Message for Saddam Hussein. The message is unconditional surrender. Anything else will not be enough. Anything else will jeopardize total destruction of your country and your people.
The police jury will display the names of the 300 or so soldiers from the St. Bernard area on the marquee of the Civic Center. The names will be posted as long as Operation Desert Storm is in effect. The Oil-Filled Chili Appreciation Society held their 6th annual cook-off today at Belle Chase Naval Air Station. Thousands of people enjoyed the good food and entertainment as 82 teams competed for the best chili. Today's cook-off was dedicated to the soldiers who serve in Operation Desert Storm, and WVUE's Operation Desert Essentials was a part of it.
We're collecting all that anybody wants to bring to send over for the Desert Essential program. We're accepting here at the gate and will be until 6 o'clock this evening.
Now remember, troops in Operation Desert Storm need everything from cold remedies to sunscreen. Operation Desert Essentials is sponsored by WVUE and Loyola University. To help out, just drop off your donations at Loyola's Greenville Hall on the Broadway campus or call the University Relations Office at 861-5888.
There is an election in New Orleans today, and if predictions hold true, very few voters will actually make it to the polls in the city. The polls will stay open until 8 tonight as people choose a new state senator to replace William Jefferson, who is now serving in Congress. Registrar of Voters, I should say, Lewis Keller, says turnout will probably be low, likely only a quarter of the 42,000 voters in the 5th District who will cast ballots today.
Fire broke out in the French Quarter. The 2-alarm blaze was located in some apartments behind Big Daddy's Bar on Bourbon Street. Fire officials say the blaze wasn't very big, but they called in extra units for safety's sake since the blaze was in the French Quarter. A fire hit the same 13-unit complex 2 weeks ago. Causes of both are under investigation. No injuries were reported in today's blaze.
A New Orleans jury has handed down the death penalty against a man convicted of 2 murders. 24-year-old John Brooks says he killed a dozen people. And late last night, a jury hearing testimony for 2 of the deaths convicted him and urged the strongest possible punishment, death by lethal injection. Brooks will be formally sentenced in April.
Well, coming up in sports, the Tigers go for first place in the SEC basketball tournament.
That's right, and here in town, a gathering of sports stars. Lionel will have the latest when WVUE's News 8 at 5 continues.
Americans are fighting for our country in the Middle East. Men, women, and children look for a way to send their support. That's why WVUE and Loyola University launched Operation Desert Essentials. the government expressed a need for products like stomach medicines, cold and flu remedies, and toiletries. Donations for our soldiers should be delivered to Greenville Hall on Loyola University's Broadway campus. For more information on Operation Desert Essentials, call 861-5888. With the help of a unique teacher, these students have knowledge at their fingertips. They're Lois Schaefer's visually impaired class at Harahan Elementary, and they're learning to see their world with touch and sound. By using art and hearing activities to teach her class problem solving, she's opening new doors for the blind. LP&L and Channel 8 recognize Lois Schaefer and her students. Their keen sense of learning is really making the grade.
Time now for sports. Lionel's here talking about the Tigers.
Tigers look very good today, George, and they're peaking at the right time, right when it gets to be tournament time. It was the final home game for the LSU Tigers, and they put on a show in their last appearance in Baton Rouge. The Tigers got back at Tennessee for a blowout earlier in Knoxville. This time it was the Tigers doing the damage. They did it early. Harold Boudreaux to Vernell Singleton. Yes, LSU scored the first 12 points of the game. It was 12-zip. Shaquille O'Neal, 33 points on the day, inside for the jam there. Sean Griggs broke an SEC record for steals today. This one he steals and takes all the way for the jam. It was an LSU highlight film. They led by as many as 27 in the first half. Vernell Singleton now gets a steal here, and the sweet jam, it was awesome, baby. At the half, LSU led 59-34. The Shack will add another one to the party in the final. LSU by 32 over Tennessee, 119-87. LSU now 19-7 overall, 12-4 in the SEC, and they now stand alone in first place in the league thanks to Alabama and the Tide's big win over Mississippi State this afternoon. The Tide rolling behind Robert Horry, 18 points on 8 of 10 shooting from the field. The final, Alabama wins it 97-72. The Bulldogs and Tide are a game behind LSU now in the SEC. The UNO Privateers finished up their American South Conference schedule. They'll play at Nicholls State tonight in a non-conference game. UNO finished 9-3 in the ASC. They clinched at least a tie for the conference championship. Arkansas State is the other team that could finish with the same record as UNO and force a coin toss to see which team gets to host the conference tournament. Arkansas State needed a win today over Lamar to force that coin toss. Let's check it out. Lamar leading early. Darrell Reed puts it in here. The Cardinals led 8-1. But Arkansas State, they storm back in the second half. Bobby Gross takes it in all the way. The Indians led by 10. The score right now, Arkansas State leads Lamar 55-52. The coin toss, if needed, will take place tonight at 5:45. We'll be there to show it to you, see if it went UNO's way. Other scores today, Ohio State barely escapes from Minnesota. Arkansas got a win over Texas A&M. North Carolina beats Clemson. Kansas beats Oklahoma. Number 12, Kentucky took care of Florida. Seton Hall over Villanova this afternoon, and Georgetown over Connecticut. The Tulane basketball team at 13-11 is still in the hunt for an NIT bid. The Wave will play at Cincinnati tonight. We'll have highlights at 10 o'clock. The Tulane baseball team finally got to play in its brand new stadium, Turchin Field. The Wave took on Northwestern today. Dan Jones' pitch gets away. Carlos Rodriguez scores for Tulane. But Northwestern got a bunch. Mike Cadron sends one down the line and right. That'll score a couple. The score in the first game of the doubleheader, Tulane losing to Northwestern that game after the 7th inning. In Baton Rouge, number 12, Texas A&M visiting number 1, LSU. The Aggies leading 2-0, bottom of the second. LSU's Luis Garcia, a blow deep and long to right center, gone. A 2-run shot, that tied it up. The score right now, first game of a doubleheader. LSU leads A&M 3-2 in the second. Well, this morning at the Hilton, the Breakfast of Champions to benefit the Leukemia Society. Sports celebrities and stars from every sport were in town for the annual event put together by Connie Mora. Houston Oilers quarterback Warren Moon was in town talking with Saints linebacker Sam Mills. Saints quarterback John Forcade was there giving of his time. Morton Anderson doing his part to help fight leukemia today. The athletes look forward to this breakfast every year, as former Seahawks wide receiver Steve Largent told WVUE's Jim Gallagher.
An opportunity really to use the platform that you develop as a professional athlete to help raise funds for a really worthy organization. And so when you can capitalize on your career and your name recognition to help other people, I think that's really gratifying.
Tonight we'll hear from Warren Moon talking about the Breakfast of Champions, and also if Arkansas State wins, they'll need a coin toss for UNO. We'll be there to see what happens then.
A coin toss? It comes down to a coin toss.
That's what it is, tied for the lead, so to see who gets the tournament, they flip it up.
What a way to end a season, huh? Okay.
We've all been waiting a long time for beautiful weather like we're having today.
Well, we sure have, but how long will it last? That is the question, and Ken has the answer next.
The Win a Fortune jackpot is getting bigger and bigger. The February 25th Pick 7 is up to $175,000, and the right ticket could win it all.
There are a lot of advantages to buying a Snapper lawn tractor. There's the power of Snapper's industrial commercial engine, attachments to tackle any job, and of course Snapper quality. Plus, every Snapper lawn tractor comes with a 2-year total protection warranty. If anything goes wrong, Snapper will fix it for 2 full years, no questions asked. Right now, get the lowest price ever on Snapper's lawn tractor, only $19.99. You save over $300 and make no payment until September 1st. Get your Snapper now.
At Good Housekeeping Vacherie, Junior Tate's Welding, Ponchatoula, and Independence Appliance.
The thought of taking bad-tasting medicine makes kids feel sick, but not grape-flavored Dimetap cold medicine.
You'll like this. A cough.
Or new Dimetap DM for colds with coughs. Dimetap DM is a combination of doctor-recommended Dimetap plus a proven cough suppressant with a pleasing grape taste.
Open up.
Dimetap, it relieves kids as well as colds, as well as coughs.
Start the new year in a new Joe Conti Toyota. Save big on 1990 Joe Conti Toyota Celicas, $4,000 off. 91 Joe Conti Toyota MR2s, $3,000 off. Joe Conti Toyota Supras, $4,500 off. All new 91 Joe Conti Toyota Previa vans, $3,000 off. Hundreds to choose from, immediate financing. Don't wait. Hurry to Joe Conti Toyota, Canal at I-10 in New Orleans. Buy your new Toyota from Conti. Joe Conti Toyota.
Ken Oquan here. Now, you know, you can't touch this weather today.
You're right. You know, the weather's been kind of crummy all week, so I guess it's fitting that it turned nice for the weekend. And I think we're going to squeeze out another day before changes come our way. Here's a satellite review. If you were up early this morning, it looked kind of gray and overcast over much of southeastern Louisiana. This from 7:30 this morning, when all but Baton Rouge was in on cloudy skies. But look how the clouds moved down toward the southeast, even past Boothville now, and the rest of the state enjoying a lot of sunshine this afternoon. Now, the wider satellite view will show what's coming our way are just some high thin clouds spreading in from Texas, and that just kind of dims the sunlight from time to time. None of the lower stuff down in the Gulf showing any signs of coming back to the north, so I think that's going to guarantee tomorrow being a nice day. But then a system up to the north is going to be heading our way, and I'll talk about that in just a second. Here are today's temperatures. Our high today was up to 66 degrees at Audubon Park. That is exactly our normal for this time of year. And tomorrow we might even add on another couple of degrees onto that. Some of us maybe even approaching 70 degrees, so kind of spring-like this weekend. Temperatures this morning were kind of cool, especially where skies cleared first, like over at Baton Rouge and Macomb, down to 42 degrees. We stopped at 50, but I think tonight's temperatures may be a good 8 to 10 degrees cooler than that. With light winds and clear skies, you'll notice a big difference tomorrow morning. Here are the current readings now: 64 in Kenner, 65 at Audubon Park, 62 in Slidell. Humidity's not bad at 54%. It was in the 40% range this afternoon. Northwest winds kind of breezy at 17 and a steady barometer at 30.03. Here's a look at the wide satellite view, and that'll show you what's coming our way for the beginning of the week. See these clouds spreading in from the Pacific? They're beginning to thicken up as they head into Mexico and Texas. And what's happening is another shot of cooler air is heading down to the south. See this area of low pressure up here? This is all pushing toward the south, and it's meeting up with the moisture coming in from the southwest. And I think by Monday we'll see enough clouds, enough moisture returning to produce a few showers, maybe even a thunderstorm early enough in the day. But the good news with this system is that it's not going to stall. In fact, it's going to be racing toward the south, but the bitter cold air that's with it, I think, is going to go east and not come towards us. Well, tomorrow the front is going to be approaching the northern part of the state. I think high pressure is going to hang on at least one more day, so tomorrow looks to be pretty nice. But then the system will come on through Monday morning with some showers, and then we'll clear out again on Tuesday, and much of next week doesn't look too bad. But for tonight, our forecast is really not too bad if you don't mind the cold temperatures. I don't think you have to worry about Your plants, although there could be a little bit of frost way on the north shore, lows will be between 38 and 43 degrees, lower 40s here in the city with clear skies. Tomorrow, I think, a nice day, plenty of sunshine. Temperatures will warm up to between 65 and 70 degrees. Now on Monday, look for, I think, a pretty decent threat for rain as the front comes through. Temperatures holding mostly in the 50s and kind of falling during the day. The rains get out of here by Monday night and early Tuesday, but look at the temperatures. Lower 40s at night, in the 50s during the day, much colder weather, and then maybe another system coming back toward the end of the week. East winds offshore tomorrow at about 8 to 15 knots. Smooth to a light chop and seas of about 2 to 3 feet. The winds are trying to come down now, so enjoy tomorrow. I think it's going to be a real nice day.
But winter hasn't left us for good yet.
Not yet. It'll turn colder next week.
Good.
Okay, Ken. Well, we have it on good authority that the whole city is invited to a birthday party for a very special lady in New Orleans.
That's right. Irma Thomas turns 50 and she wants everyone to join in the celebration. We'll tell you about it when WVUE's News 8 at 5 continues.
You can build it, you can fix it, you can do it if you try. If you think it at Home Depot, the limit is the sky.
At Home Depot, low prices are just the beginning. We guarantee absolutely everything, our products and our advice. So when you start a project at Home Depot, you'll love what you finish.
When you're with us at Home Depot, you'll feel right at home.
Get ready to climb on board just about every boat you've been waiting to see. It's the exciting 1991 boat show at the Superdome. Board, buy, or just browse among hundreds of fishing boats, ski boats, bass boats, and sailboats. Plus engines, electronics, and accessories all in one spectacular location. Now's the best time to make a great deal on your new boat at the New Orleans Boat Show, Saturday, February 16th through Sunday the 24th at the Superdome.
AssureNet participates in a repair voucher program that cuts through the red tape. You simply bring your car to the insurance company appraiser for a repair estimate. Shortly thereafter, you receive your repair voucher and a list of quality repair businesses who guarantee their work to your satisfaction. You present your repair voucher and your deductible to the one most convenient for you, and your car gets repaired. It's that simple. You see, AssureNet believes people with accidents have enough problems without the insurance agency being one of them.
It's a golden journey to the 24-karat core of success on the all-new Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. We'll debut Runaway, a brand new superstar adventure. Then meet the wealthy winners from Hollywood to Wall Street. From Europe's monarchy to superstar royalty, experience the pleasures and passions. Taste the best of the sweet life on the ultimate passport to ride first class, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Sunday nights at 11 on Channel 8.
The Soul Queen of New Orleans celebrates the Big 5-0 tonight in style. Preparations are already underway at the Hyatt, where Irma Thomas's 50th birthday bash will be held. All the money from the celebration will benefit Bridge House, which is a free treatment center for recovering alcoholics and drug abusers. Tickets are $15, plus you'll need 5 canned goods to get in. The party starts at 8 o'clock tonight at the Hyatt.
Sounds like a good time. That's our news for now. We thank you for joining us. The latest on the Middle East situation coming up next on ABC's World News Saturday.
We'll be back here at 10 o'clock and we'll see you then. Good night.